Me on? Yes. Hello. Good afternoon. I'm Daniel Mishler. This video is an update following my open letter to Indiana University. It is for my fellow students and for anyone else who is interested in learning more about this fight. Like I said, I'm Daniel Mishler. I am a student at the university, and I'm on staff with the university, and I find the student commitment agreement that the university has asked, and as I'll reveal, will be forcing students to sign, is inappropriate. Updates. I have not heard back from the university yet. I have confirmed that the Office of General Counsel has seen my letter, and I highly suspect other university outlets have caught wind, but I have heard nothing directly. No response to me, nor call for an open forum. The university has been giving updates every week, and the closest thing I see resembling acknowledgement of my protest is a Q&A session with Dr. Aaron Carroll. They've happened multiple times. Seems like there's one every Wednesday. He will be talking about what students can do to keep themselves and IU healthy, and he will answer your questions. Though I highly doubt he will be answering questions about why the policies are in place. I would have surely asked him some if I was able to attend. However, I work full-time. I actually just got back from work, and I can't attend the Q&A because it's in the middle of the day. I appreciate that they're holding a Q&A, but I doubt this was in response to my letter. I feel that if it was, IU would at least have the courtesy to reach out to me to ensure my attendance. On views and debate. I maintain my personal views from my open letter. I have done my due diligence doing research. Many of my sources are on my website. And again, I'm totally open to discussion, but no one, including the university, has taken me up on that offer. I've had a few people start to debate me until they get fatigued. No true challenge to a debate. This surprises me, for as a university student, I am seeking truth. If there was one person whose mind you could change, you're looking at him, but no debate. Now, though I still hold my views on masks, many states have assiduously began enforcing mask mandates. And because of this, I find it unreasonable for me to continue to isolate that as a part of IU's contract. Yes, I disagree with it, but IU's hands are almost tied in this regard, so I will not die on this hill fighting the university. Instead, I'd like to ensure that the debate is focused on the two remaining problems with the agreement. First is the app clause. You preemptively offer consent to downloading an app if one is required by IU. This is excessively vague. My location is not the university's business, and I understand that not all such apps require the user's location through clever use of cryptographic hashing. But that's not what this contract says. Change this, and then we can talk. And then the worst part of the agreement, which I have dubbed the slow roll clause. It reads, in addition, I understand that these expectations are subject to change and will be updated as necessary by IU. Notice will be provided to students in order to provide sufficient opportunity to comply. It says comply. It does not say to decide whether or not you're still comfortable with the measures the university has in place. It says comply. Whatever they decide you're going to do, you do it. I don't think that's very reasonable. I think the university should tell me what they expect from me, specifically, absent whatever we tell you to do, you'll do it, and then create a single agreement. So again, my petition, which I've recently started due to suggestions of friends, I'll link it on my website, focuses on those 2 points. And then I want to also talk about framing. This is the crux of what makes this fight difficult. It seems that many people have adopted this frame that if one does not support the measures being taken against COVID-19, then you have a problem, you're selfish, you're solipsistic, you're low risk and don't care about people that are high risk, or you're a science denier. Quite the opposite is true. If I only cared about myself, I would have quietly signed the agreement and silently complied only when I thought Big Brother was watching, and I would proceed with the rest of my day. But no. I'm out here risking my education, my career, because I think it is important that people should not tell a university that they will bend the knee to any order that comes their way. This is not about me. It's about my fellow students and generations of students that will come after me. But people have adopted this frame that you're not allowed to hold any opinions contrary to the orthodoxy of, we should do everything in our ability to stop this virus. I find this line of thinking to present incredible danger, especially at a university where one should foster open discussion. I don't understand how an open debate is possible if certain viewpoints are forbidden. Are you truly free to have your own opinion if you must choose from a list of pre-approved opinions? You have to reject that frame in order to have any hope of changing anyone's mind about this. The coronavirus is damaging us heavily. While the death count is an order of magnitude lower than the most optimistic forecasts, I understand that we still don't want it to harm us. We can also do damage by spreading fear. Overreacting is equivalently a danger. Why should we make this a priority when more people are dying every day to cancer? Why COVID? The university's messages frame how the fall will go by how seriously students take the measures and how well we do with compliance. This falsely implies that whether students follow the measures would be solely responsible for an outbreak or the lack thereof. In addition, it shirks the focus away from whether the measures are appropriate or necessary, which are questions that should always be in the dialogue. This is not a situation where it is appropriate to sit quietly because there is a fight against a virus at hand. There have been countless examples where overreacting to an issue has not only failed to help a cause, but caused additional harm in other areas, and I might add, possibly hurt the cause at hand. Consider World War I's Espionage Act, where First Amendment rights were denied to protesters of the war, claiming that protesting the war was like yelling fire in a crowded theater. You're not allowed to have that opinion. You can't protest the war. Consider World War II's Japanese internment camps, where citizens were stripped of their rights based on their race and ethnicity. Consider the Red Scare, where citizens would go to such lengths as joining the Ku Klux Klan just to seem more patriotic, in fear of facing dire consequences to a mob who would label them as un-American. In all of these examples, the actions taken against the governing authority both did nothing to aid the cause and are now viewed as dark parts of our nation's history. Stop ignoring this history. Compelled action and compelled inaction are inappropriate in response to this pandemic, and there should be a discussion about this. COVID is not the only thing that one should be worried about, and because of this, you, students, should be very careful about this framing. Understand, you are allowed to have an opinion about this. Next point, isolation. This is one of the reasons I was driven to make this video. You need to be united. We need to be united. You're more likely to comply with something you know is wrong if you don't know your neighbor is going to stand with you. While many of the measures of the lockdown may have even been appropriate, the isolation is surely a perilous side effect. And the people who are isolated don't have the willpower nor strength to stand up against something they're afraid of. If you're the only one who holds a different view, you don't want the mob to make an example out of you. I might remind everyone that such fear is how totalitarian regimes take root. But if a large group of people, say 1/2 of a population, stands up for what they believe in together, they will have better luck. You can't expel all of them, you can't jail all of them, and at the end of the day, if half of the population holds a view, don't you find it quite reasonable that they should have a substantial say in how they're governed and how the culture is? But if you're isolated, how can you know? That's why you shouldn't let fear conquer your mind. Reject the frame that you're not allowed to say these things because you are. Say it, share your message. And then coercion. This was the event that really inspired me to make this video. I tried to access my email today, as I do most days, and I was confronted with a very simple message that bodes ill will for people trying to fight this. The message indicates that I haven't yet signed the agreements and gives me the option either to do so now or to do so later, but I may choose to do so later 4 more times, finitely many times. So, according to this, eventually, I will be shut out of my email and all university services for not agreeing to the student commitment agreement. I have confirmed that at least one of my friends has seen this message as well, so I anticipate that this will be common. By the time that this video is released, I anticipate many of you will have already seen this message if you have not yet signed. If you do not sign, you'll be shut out of university resources. That's coercion. I can recall my freshman year, Indiana University required all freshmen to attend a workshop on consent. Now, I did learn a thing or two for that, and what the university is doing to us right now is coercion. It doesn't seem like the university really cares whether or not I agree. Their actions indicate that they just want to slowly squeeze out all the resources from students who disagree, just whittling them down, breaking them down one by one. I can't help but imagine this in another context. Oh, sir, it's not rape. I just told her that she had to have sex with me if she wanted to access her email, and she said okay. This in any other context would be totally inappropriate. What the university is doing is not obtaining consent. It is coercion, and it is coercion to the T. So the university is going to lock me out of my email unless I bend the knee and agree to do whatever they tell me. All I can say is that I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that the university, instead of choosing to debate or have an open discussion, has chosen this approach. Instead of trying to openly discuss, which I've indicated that I'm very willing to do, they have decided to strong-arm, and I'm disappointed. Is the university evil for all of this? Probably not, no. They're most likely acting out of fear as well, the same fear that we are. They just don't want to be liable when a transmission of COVID inevitably occurs. This is evident by their recent measures to force all incoming students to get tested for COVID, despite the infeasibility of instantiating or enforcing such a mandate. But universities have no business here, and I'm disappointed in how far they've trodden. And final points about this. Doing something. If you feel like this is inappropriate, you need to start reaching out to people. If you feel like arms are grabbing your neck and starting to choke you, then you need to make some noise. It's unfortunate that the face of the committee who made this decision is not right in front of you as you gaze upon the blocker screen as you try to access your email. It's quite sad that the people who are forcing your hand are hiding. It's really unfortunate you can't see them, to have them right in front of you, and you could just share with them that you don't think they have your best interests at heart. It's unfortunate how difficult it is to reach them. I have tried. They apparently have no interest, even in the most truth-seeking debates, about the most important topics. If you want to get your message out there, you need to start talking to people. You need to say something. If you fear access to your enrollment will be cut, you should reach out to your academic advisor. I've done this. Maybe they can't do anything about it, but I'll tell you, if they get 10, 20 emails about it, they'll be thinking about it too. And maybe they know somebody. And maybe their boss knows somebody. Reach out to your professors. Respond to the provost. Reach out to people and share your opinion, because you're allowed to have it. And that's all I have for today. Thank you. Good luck out there.